Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 7 different fragrances that completely shocked me in one way or another. We've got a good mix of fragrances here. We've got some new releases, we've got some cheap releases, got some expensive stuff, just a whole bunch of everything. And I'm also going to be giving away one of these fragrances to you guys out there. One of these I have 2 bottles of. I don't need both of them. So I'm going to give one away to one of you. So stay tuned for that giveaway and let's jump into this. All right, let's kick things off with a very inexpensive fragrance. This one is Dirty English. This is how the bottle used to look. It's got these little metallic charms on there. See these? Or would these be pewter? Pewter, not metallic. And it has a little leather band as well. If you get this fragrance nowadays though, it's gonna look like this. So pretty close, just the cap looks like trash now. So here's how it used to look. Take a look at that. I just like doing that for some reason. And here's how it looks now. Yeah, that's just plastic. It weighs nothing. And the cap also used to have some heft to it as well. So it's not just the leather band and the little charms. They definitely did some cost cutting there, some cost saving measures. This has oud, leather, cedar, mandarin, and cypress as some of the notes in the fragrance. And there has been some back and forth as to whether this new reformulated version of the fragrance is as good as the old one. Hopefully this is coming across clearly, but there is a difference in coloration between the two. This one looks more ambery, this one looks more like caramel. Now, is there a difference in scent profile between the two? Yes, but it's not major. Definitely not as much as some people would have you believe. If you spray those on side by side, you can tell it's the exact same fragrance. The differences are minor. The original version of the fragrance does have a little better performance, and it's a little bit richer, but it's a minor difference. And 99.9% of you out there, if you smell that in the air, the both of them, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. If you can find the vintage for about the same price as the current bottle, yeah, go for it. But should you pay 3-4 times as much for the original, the vintage bottle? Nah, no you shouldn't. So the reason this shocked me is I was pretty sure it was gonna be garbage, just complete utter trash, a dumpster fire, swamp water. You could find this stuff at TJ Maxx for about $15 years ago. That's when I picked it up originally. And then I was surprised that it was good. It's surprisingly good, very solid, and it comes from Juicy Couture. It's really something that came out of left field for me. It actually smells a little bit similar to Gucci Pour Homme, the original, the discontinued one, the one that will cost you $300-400 if you want a bottle of it. Yeah, this one right here. So this, a little bit similar to this. So Dirty English, despite the name, despite the tacky bottle, despite that being from Juicy Couture, despite that being really inexpensive, freaking good. Okay, next one, One Umbrella for Two by Floriku. Yeah, a little bit different than the last one we talked about. So whereas Dirty English is very affordable, this is $350. Ouch. But you do get this cool cap/travel atomizer case. So that's pretty cool. I mean, really though, I do love the look of this thing. That looks pretty sick. I'm gonna link each one of these below. This one I'm gonna link at Twisted Lily. If you do shop at Twisted Lily, use the code GENTS10. Save yourself 10% off. It works for the entire website. So there's this one and a couple others that you can find at that website that I'm gonna be talking about here today. So anytime you shop there, use that code. If you're unaware of what Twisted Lily is, it's a niche store, so they have a whole bunch of niche fragrances, and they're getting more in all the time. So now you know, if you didn't, but you did. You already knew. I know. This has blackcurrant, tea, and cedar as some of the notes in the fragrance. All the fragrances from Floriku get that 3-note treatment. Not really a fan of it, but that's what they do, so it is what it is. So this one shocked me, surprised me, whatever you want to call it, because I did not expect it to smell how it smelled. With a lot of fragrances, the vast majority, I try not to look up reviews beforehand. So I don't go read on forums or anything like that about the fragrance. I don't watch other videos. The reason for that is because I don't want them to give me a bias. Even if I try not to be biased, you know, there's that possibility that something is lurking in the back of my brain where I read a review and somebody was like, it's gonna be trash. And then I'm thinking the whole time, yeah, but this is gonna suck. Or I'm subconsciously thinking that. So with this one, when I first sprayed it on, I was expecting a big bunch of black currant. That's the only top note listed, so I was expecting a hit of that. And then instead what I got was really nutty. Yeah, nutty. So in this fragrance, there's this nut-like creaminess. Yes, there's some sweetness in there and some tartness, but the first time I sprayed this on, I couldn't help but just lock in and focus on that creamy sort of feel that it had, because I wasn't expecting it at all. As time has worn on though, and I've worn that more, I can pick up the black currant with ease. It's just, I know what's coming now. First time, I didn't. Next up, Lalique White and Black. This fragrance right here, this is gonna be a hype beast when this hits discounters. I'm telling you now, when this is about 30 bucks, 35 bucks, lots of guys are gonna pick this up for fall and winter time. With this scent, I thought the naming convention was kind of goofy, white and black, and then it's supposed to be like a chalkboard and you draw on the bottle. Just kind of stupid to me, frankly, gimmicky. And the fragrance itself doesn't really have anything to do with Lalique White. You smell this side by side with that fragrance, they are very, very different. This smells a little bit like you took Parfums de Marly Layton, Gentleman Eau de Parfum, only without the iris. This is him from Zadig and Voltaire, Pulse of the Night, Armani Code. Just took all of those fragrances, threw them into a blender, blended it up really good. This would pop out the other end. Lavender, vanilla, Tolu balsam, citrus, and cardamom, some of the notes in this fragrance. This is a killer cool weather fragrance. Sweet, spicy, sexy, a little bit mysterious, all that stuff. This is great. I shouldn't have doubted Lalique. They have so many fragrances that are just top notch. And the best thing about Lalique, for a lot of guys anyway, is once it hits discounters, it is cheap. So it may take a while. It may take quite a while. But once this does hit discounters, you can find this for like 30, 35, even 40 bucks. I say scoop it up. Okay, from there, I gotta include this, okay? I've got to. Philip Plein, No Limits. Yeah, sure, it's got the cringiest advertising of all time. But I think that maybe Philip Plein is just being satirical, okay? So maybe the Philip Plein No Limits commercial, fragrance, this is all tongue-in-cheek. Philip Plein knows it's ridiculous. He's just playing off of that. Philip Plein is actually big brain, and he's making fun of all the other fragrance advertisers with his advertisement. If you've not seen the Philip Plein No Limits commercial, just at some point, check it out. And of course, it could not be satire, and Philip Plein could legitimately be that guy who's like, hey, you know what'd be cool? A money gun and a Lamborghini attached to a helicopter with flaming ropes, and I'm doing push-ups on Bentleys and washing cars with $100 bills and hanging out with hotties, and there's a monkey. That would be cool. So No Limits, I bought this as a gag. I thought this would be terrible. I thought looking at that commercial and this bottle, frankly, no way it's gonna be good. It's not possible. I mean, look at it. Leatherwoods, dark chocolate, spices, vanilla. This stuff has a similarity to Gucci Guilty Absolute, has a similarity to Black Tie by Fragrance One. All three fragrances, this one and those two, all done by the same guy, Alberto Marias. This is a really nice attention-pulling, compliment-grabbing fragrance. Or is it the other way? Attention-grabbing, compliment-pulling fragrance. Fantastically sweet and spicy. It's not at all dirty. It's got this allure to it. It's magnetic. It is great for fall and winter. It's good. I like it. Let's go there. Let's cleanse our palates a little bit with Interlude Black Iris by Amouage. Now this right here, holy crap. The first time I smelled Interlude Black Iris, I was just like, the idea sounded gimmicky to me. Amouage is going to be doing an interlude flanker, a brand that is not known for doing flankers other than the whole Opus collection, and those aren't really flankers, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Is doing flanker of one of their most highly respected fragrances. And the main difference, at least from the outside looking in, is that they're putting iris in it. Color me skeptical. I was thinking, great, a money grab. And then I got it, sprayed it on, and thought to myself, I like this more than the original. And I always enjoyed Interlude, so I'm not one of those people that was like, Interlude sucks, the Blue Beast, thumbs down. I always loved Interlude. I thought it fit perfectly in with all the other Amouage fragrances. Fantastic. And then this came out, smoothed out the opening, smoothed out the whole fragrance, frankly. And it took Interlude that a lot of people would say, oh, yeah, it's kind of difficult to wear. You know, you're probably not gonna really get any compliments or anything like that while you're wearing it. You wear it for yourself, you enjoy it yourself, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. It took that and turned it into a fragrance that has a lot of versatility and a surprisingly high compliment factor, if that's important to you. My wife really, really loves this stuff, and I do as well. So Interlude Black Iris blew me away. I thought there was no way. I thought it was, like I said, a cash grab, just some stupid release, and then it turned out to be an improvement. All right, this next one is the one I'm gonna give away. It is Camuto Oud by Vince Camuto. Leather, oud, saffron, cedar, and pink pepper are some of the notes in the fragrance. I'm not a big fan of Vince Camuto scents. I think most of them are boring or just frankly kind of poorly done. And even the bottles sometimes to me just don't feel very nice. I mean, I know they have this leather wrap around it, which some people are gonna go, oh yeah, it's nice, luxurious, ooh. But when I hold it in my hand and I compare it to something else, like, I don't know, a Versace or an Armani fragrance, I look at the bottle side by side, this one's always the ugliest. So when they came out with their oud fragrance, I was pretty sure it was gonna be one of the worst oud fragrances in the designer realm. And in case you're newer into learning about fragrances, there was a time in the not so distant past where every single designer house had to come out with an oud fragrance. And if they didn't come out with an oud fragrance, then the world was going to split in two, or a meteor was going to hit us or something. I don't know. It was like all these brands were rushing out. I have to get my oud fragrance on the market right now. I know it may not seem like that right now, but that's how it was, okay, in the past. That's how it was. So Camuto jumps on the oud train. They announced their oud fragrance. Oh, great. Ooh. You got like a C-level designer coming out with an oud. Ugh. And then it hits, and it's actually surprisingly really solid, and is likely one of the very best beginner oud fragrances on the market. It might be up there with Versace Oud Noir as far as affordable designer oud fragrances, as being one of the most easily accessible, easily worn oud scents. It's dry, it's spicy, it's got a touch of sweetness, but not too much. The oud in here never ever starts to cross into barnyard or fecal territory. Ugh. Imagine that. You're a beginner, never smelled an oud fragrance in your life, and you ask somebody who's really into fragrances, what would be a good beginner's oud? And they go, I got the greatest one for you, brother. Spray this one on. And then they give themselves 4 or 5 blasts, immediately punched in the face with the fecal oud. And when I say fecal oud, it's what it sounds like. It smells like feces to an extent. Imagine being that guy just caught in the headlights about to head to work, smelling like that. Well, your options are hop into the shower and wash it off, or go to work smelling like that, okay? And then you go, I'll hop in the shower. Wrong. It's gonna stay there for 24 hours. It doesn't matter how much you scrape. Unless you're taking the skin off, that fragrance is staying with you. Enjoy. So that's the importance of having some beginner level oud fragrances for guys out there so they don't get stuck in that situation. You know, baby steps. And this one is great for that. Giveaway wise, you have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to like this video and leave a comment below and just tell me, what is the fragrance that shocked you the most? for any reason. You could have thought it was going to be awesome and then it was terrible, or the other way around. It could have been completely unexpected. You thought it was going to smell one way and it smelled another, whatever. So let me know that, and in about a week, I'll pick a winner, post it up on the community tab of my YouTube channel. Then you reach out to me, I'll get you your bottle. It will not have a box and has been gently used, but that's what I can do. All right, last fragrance. Let's do this. I've got to go with it. Halloween Man X. Another cheapie. When this came out, Halloween was mainly known for the original Halloween Man, which is a clone or inspired by a fragrance of Paco Rabanne's 1 Million. And it's a good one too. Really solid. Doesn't cost that much. Smells very nice. But the flankers that came after that were kind of hit or miss. Then this came out, and it changed pretty much everything. First time I smelled this, I was really blown away. Much, much, much better than I expected. The coffee in here especially caught my attention with this kind of roasted coffee vibe that it gives off. It's also got whiskey in here and tonka and some spiciness. And for the price, when you can pick this up for under 30 bucks, it is one of the best cheap fragrances currently being made, in my opinion, especially if we're talking about fall and wintertime scents. Some people will compare this to Ferragamo Uomo, that there's a similarity between the two. I can see where people are coming from, but I definitely think when you spray them on side by side, there's a pretty big difference. And because Halloween Man X was so successful and so many people enjoyed it, that led into Halloween Man Hero getting a decent amount of hype, which has just recently come out. Or I should say hype pre-launch, that it got hyped pre-launch. That's gonna do it for me. 7 different fragrances that shocked me in different ways. Make sure to enter that giveaway if you're interested. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.